Sponsored by EA. Hey everyone, it's AlluringSimmer here, and if you're new here, then welcome to Planet Allura, and if you've been here before, then welcome back. Today we are making a fairy based off of the Mystbloom skin set in Valorant. Before we get into today's video, I just want to share that I am part of the EA Creator Program, and you can use my code AlluringSimmer when purchasing Sims for DLC, or visit my website at AlluringSimmer.com/creator to see other eligible EA titles that you can use my code AlluringSimmer for when making purchases on the EA app. If you used my code before, I appreciate you so much, as the support helps me out as a content creator. Some other ways you can support me are by subscribing to the Tulip tier on my Patreon or subscribing to my Twitch channel. But the best way to support me is simply by watching my videos all the way through, liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. Also, I have a sim challenge that you all can participate in. Whether you like create a sim or building, there's something for you. I currently have the hashtag Alluring Fairy Shell, where you can download my shell on the gallery. My gallery ID is AlluringSimmer, and make any fairy themed build following the rules in the description. Or you can use the hashtag Alluring Fairy Cast and upload a fairy sim you've created. I may choose your sim to add to my world during my Winx Let's Play, so consider to enter if you want to see your sim in my game. Also, the due date for that challenge is July 26th, so make sure you get your sims or your builds in by that date. So let's get into today's creative sim. Be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of our Mystbloom fairy at the end of this video. Meet Elise Cordova, a fairy that bloomed out of the lotus flower with hues of pink, yellow, purple, orange, and blue. When creating this fairy, I was basing her off the Valorant skin set Mystbloom because I feel like the aesthetic of that set is very magical. I actually own the knife that came from that skin set in Valorant, and I spent $80 on it. Although it is not one of my finest moments, it's definitely one of the cutest skin sets from Valorant, and I also feel like it's what's inspired me to create this fairy sim. She's also my own personal submission for my, create a sim challenge, and I can't wait to have her interacting with the other Winx girlies in my Winx Let's Play. You may also see this sim pop up on my live streams. Recently, I've been doing a few streams checking out the Enchanted by Nature pack and just kind of exploring the world with Miss Elise. So if you want to catch up with her adventures, make sure to tune into the streams where I have her featured. And the best way to make sure that you don't miss a stream is by turning notifications on and making sure that you keep up with it so you know exactly when I'm live. When I was creating her outfits for this look, I wanted to emulate the aesthetic of the Mystbloom set through the color palette as well as through like the florals and overall style. The new Enchanted by Nature expansion pack was literally perfect for creating this fairy, with all the flowy and leafy designs, the beautiful color palettes that they chose for the new outfits we got. We have a lot of clothing pieces with light colors and pastels, and I was just obsessed. I was so excited to create this thing. This is also low-key sort of a CAS overview, at least for the young adults, feminine pieces, because when I was creating her, I was also looking at all the new items for the first time, so you can see me kind of trying on everything to see which aesthetic I want to go for, and also just to check out all the things that we got with the new pack. One of the best parts of the new pack, of course, has to be the wings. The fact that we even have fairies is so exciting, but all the different wing styles that you can choose from are amazing, and the fact that we can also go in and paint it if you want to. You can really customize it, and then you can also just choose the color swatches if you're not in the mood to go full on. Another thing that I love about this new pack is that it added a few new categories. There's an option to make your sims really glow, so I did that for this sim, and you don't really notice it in CAS, or at least I don't. It might be because of my CAS background, but when you're in game, your sims will be shiny, their skin will literally be glowing. It's so pretty. And the other thing that I love about this pack, I know I keep talking about the pack, but it's kind of connected to this sim as well, is the tattoos, which you'll see later on that I chose for her. When your sim is in fairy form and they're wearing the tattoos that kind of look like markings things on their skin, they glow. And it's so cute. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, because when they're in like their human form, it doesn't glow. When they switch to like their fairy form, it glows, and it almost looks like luminescent, sort of like glow in the dark vibes. Now, when it comes to like the face paint and the accessories and makeup, I really love the new like makeup and face paint patterns that we got. I feel like they're all very cute. I think my favorite is definitely the one that I chose for this sim. I do like this one as well. I feel like it gives like dark fairy vibes, and then the one that has like the leafy patterns kind of gives more like plant sim sort of vibes. When I was choosing her eyeshadow, I kind of mixed it with the face paint to give this like really cool sort of design. And in the previous base game update, we did get like new lash colors, like blues and greens and purples, which I feel like was definitely in preparation for this new pack because it matches the color palette. And I was initially going to do it, but I ended up settling on the CC lashes instead. One thing I do want to mention is if you want to download the sim off the gallery, she is available. My gallery ID is AlluringSimmer. The only thing is you do have to make sure to include custom content, so that way you're able to see her appear in the gallery. Just know that in terms of the custom content that I used, the main parts of her outfit, her hairstyles, and like her wings obviously came with like the new pack and just packs that I have in the game. The only things that are really custom content is like some of the makeup that she's wearing and her skin details, like her skin overlay and such. So if you download her, you'll still be able to use her just fine in your game. You just may need to add like your own makeup. This was a point where I decided on the slick back hairstyle. When I was creating the Mystbloom fairy, I was also streaming, so I was getting input from my viewers as well if they wanted to see like the shorter hairstyle or the slick back hairstyle, and everyone loved this hairstyle. Like, everyone was obsessed with it. So I'm so happy with like how the overall look turned out, and I really feel like it definitely captured the essence of the Mystbloom set that I was basing her off of. With each outfit I created, I was like, I want to make sure that it has like florals, I want to make sure that it has like the aesthetic of little petals, and I feel like the items from this new pack really capture that. And then I found this tattoo, which is literally a lotus flower that looks almost exactly like the lotus flower from the Mystbloom like promotion pictures, and I was like, you know what, this is perfect. Like, I wasn't even thinking I was gonna find anything like that, and that just like sealed the deal for this look. And this is the part where you can see like the new tattoos, how it's glowing. You can also choose the non-glowing option, and that's what would appear for like your fairy form. However, if you choose the glowing option, it does only glow when they're in their fairy form, not when they're in their human form. This new pack has also inspired me to make more like fantasy style sims. I definitely want to do some things like inspired by Baldur's Gate. I've actually already made Karlach, Will, and Shadowheart for like a little co-working scene I wanted to create, but I think it'd be fun to just make sims based off of the game in general. Like, I'd love to make like a druid, make like a warlock. I feel like now that we have fairies, there's a lot more like sort of mystical enchanted pieces that we can use that I feel like would really emulate the look that I'd want to go for. And if you made it this far, I really appreciate you for watching, because you made the $80 that I spent on that Valorant knife worth it, because this look would not have even like come to my mind if I hadn't remembered that set that I bought a long time ago. And something else I wanted to mention is when creating some of her looks, I was really thinking like she is a fairy. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically there were some, you know, outfit choices that I made that I know that I wouldn't have made with any other kind of sim. For example, her athletic wear, I just threw on some like cute socks for her, and she doesn't have shoes. So I'm just like, she's a fairy, she's gonna run around, she's gonna fly around, like she doesn't need to wear shoes, like who really cares? And I also feel like for her swimwear, what was really nice is if you participated in the Nature's Calling event, there was a swimwear outfit that you could unlock, and I was like, there was no swimwear that came with this pack. I don't think there was any like bras or anything like that, like any lingerie. So I was like, what am I gonna do for her swimsuit? And then I remember I had unlocked that, so I was able to use that for her. I am obsessed with Miss Elise Cordova, and I'm super happy with how all of her looks turned out, and I feel like this new pack has really made it possible to make a very magical looking sim and Realm of Magic. If you want to keep up with me outside of YouTube, then consider to follow me on Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, X, and Blue Sky. I'm AlluringSimmer on all platforms, and those are some of the best ways to connect with me outside of YouTube. Another way to stay connected is the Discord server. The server is a way for you to share what's going on with your Sims gameplay, share other games you're playing, and connect with other friends in the community. And if you would like to join, there's a link in the description. version. Be sure to stay tuned until the end for screenshots of Miss Cordova or Mystbloom Fairy. And thank you so much for watching. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below what you think of all the looks. Like this video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye everyone!